100.
STMK Radio 100. You're listening to Stop the Madness, Keep It 100 with your host, Sean L., Let, and Tone the Stone on STMK Radio 100. 100.
Yes, this is a PSA, a public street announcement. You are now listening to a Kickback production. Light up your L's, lean back, and listen.
So 100.
STMK.
Good evening and welcome to Studio 51. Tonight in studio with me, I have Doug Million sitting in the funny chair.
Aha, what up, y'all?
Dougie Doug, the
What's
funny
that?
man. And also with us, we have our guest host back with us again, Sax Man Live in Studio 51.
The not so funny man.
Not,
You know,
you know, every week I got to put up with you, man.
Yeah,
You are looking for a
every
hot
week.
one for real.
yeah,
Oh,
he is out of control.
Out of control, man.
We like to welcome Facebook Live, YouTube Live, also Snapchat, Twitter, and our Ustream TV, and our 19 cities and affiliates that are listening to us and seeing us on internet radio. Welcome to Stop the Madness. Keep it 100. I'm your host, Sean L., and we are really getting ready to put it down tonight. We're going to start right here on something very serious is happening in our city, the city of Cleveland, Ohio, where the violence on women has taken an all-time high. We have had multiple murders take place over the last 2 years, and this is something that has the city by fear and has a grip on everyone. And the latest homicide has taken the city to its knees. Today, on the telephone, we have some family members of some of the victims of one of these homicides, and she's going to share her story with us. Plus, we have a community activist, Denise, that's going to be on the air with us also. So, with further ado, let's go right to the telephone and talk to our guest today about what's going on in the city of Cleveland. So,
Good evening, Sean.
good evening, Denise
Hi.
and Tina. Welcome to Stop the Madness, Keep It 100. First, before we start the show, I want to say that on behalf of everyone here at STMK Radio 100 in the city of Cleveland, we want to send our condolences out to you and your family. And we know how hard it is for you to talk about this situation. And we appreciate you coming on the air and sharing it with us because this is a story that needs to get out. For everyone who does not know, last night there was a march for war on women here in the city of Cleveland, and hundreds of people showed up to come out. And it's time for the men's in the community. If you listening to me, Black Man's Army, uh, the new Black Panther Party, the anti-Trump people, I don't care who you is, black, white, yellow. It is time for us to stand up and come out into our streets and take our community back. And I want to send that out to everybody. Retired police officers, step up to the plate. Let's get out here and protect our people because our young ladies are in danger. And when you start hearing the stats and statistics in just 1 mile area, we're talking about 5 to 4 blocks, it is mind blowing. But without further ado, my main man Doug here is going to talk with you, Tina and Denise. And why don't you introduce yourself to our listeners and tell us what's going on?
My name is Denise Serena, and I am just, I find it hard to be, I call myself just a concerned woman for my community. A lot of people call me an activist, but my name is Denise Serena.
Hi, my name is Tina Wachowski. I am the sister of one of the females, Ashley Wachowski, that was murdered.
And Tina, when your sister, when your sister was murdered here in the city of Cleveland, was she one of the first ones, or because we're in the chat room also to give a little?
No, she was like the third or fourth. Now, in the beginning of the show starting, I don't know if it was you or someone else, announced that over the last 2 years. My sister's case is going on 4 years in May.
Okay, so your
So
sister,
this is a lot longer.
your sister is Ashley, correct?
Ashley, yes.
Okay, it's Ashley. Well, give me 1 minute here for our listeners here, and Tina and
Hello?
Denise. Yes, can you hear us?
Hello.
Yeah, Denise, give us 1 minute right here because we want to bring our listeners into speed right now so they can understand what's going on in the city of Cleveland. So just give us about 30 seconds. Just hold on for a minute. And for our listeners, we have a bring in so you can understand what's going on in the city of Cleveland and this horrible situation that's taking place.
Whoever left the body of a woman inside an abandoned home in the 9400 block of Fuller Avenue recently may have killed before. At least that's the theory from Councilman Zach Reed and people living here. The murders of Ashley Lazieski, Christine Malone, Jamila Hassan, and Jasmine Trotter have all gone unsolved. Their bodies all left in abandoned homes or fields, all within a mile of each other and all in the vicinity of East 93rd.
Now, what's happening right there? We have family members on the phone, and they're talking with us. Ashley's family members here, Tina, and as she said, this has been going on a lot longer than what we thought. So, Tina, you said this has been going on. Your nightmare started 4 years ago.
It'll be 4 years in March. We don't have an exact date when she went missing, but when she didn't call for Mother's Day, my mom knew something was wrong. Also, we were down at the 4th District yesterday, and the councilman said Ashley Lashevsky came from Garfield Heights into over here and came up missing. That's not even her story. She lived on Heath off of 93rd and was found a few blocks down on Anderson and 93rd. So it's like they don't even have the correct story. When we call detectives, they don't call us back.
That's why we have you on the show today. That's why we bringing you on the show today, so we can give you a platform to tell us your story. Because the Women's March, the war on the Women's March last night in the 4th District, most people at that march did not have an idea what's going on in the community. And most people today still don't have the idea of what's going on because they do not know that a 14-year-old girl was taken out for a busy intersection in the city of Cleveland. So and all of the films and cameras around due to crimes that the city put up, they're not even on film or camera. So whoever did this or in this area knows where the cameras are at. So, I mean, this is something that we have to get out and talk about. Just to bring up down to the area right there, we're talking about a 5-block area. And just for the people who's familiar with Cleveland, let's go from Union to Kinsman. that little block area right there.
Yep.
So we're talking about a quarter of a mile. To bring you some stats on a quarter of that quarter of a mile right there, to that's really
Can
just.
I interrupt real quick?
Yes, go ahead.
Can I interrupt, actually? Because you said from Kinsman to Union. Well, my sister was found like 2 streets up before that. So it does start a little back farther.
Right.
Anderson and 93rd.
Okay. Oh, it goes back.
I believe that's the
okay.
farthest it went.
Yeah, Anderson is back behind 93rd. You are correct. Okay, so
That is absolutely correct.
but we're talking about a 1 square mile area, so it's not
Right.
that big. And the stats of this area is for everybody to understand. In this 1 square mile area, and we're just talking about one part of Cleveland, and the stats are
That's
staggering across the city.
Absolutely staggering. You're talking about 7,800 sex offenders within this area. 6 offenders in 1 block of the murder, 5 black and 1 white. We're talking about 1,370 found in 947 different locations. 16 were found within a quarter-mile radius of the murders. And we're talking about the first tier and the third tier, and there are over 221, and no one knows where they're at.
And that's staggering figures. These are people who supposed to be reporting to the sheriff department. 222, we don't even know where they're at, people.
Now, ladies, I want to intervene here.
And on top of that, I don't mean, excuse me,
Go right ahead.
gentlemen.
Go right ahead.
On top of that, the house on the very corner where Aliana DeFries was found is the home of a sexual predator.
That's correct. And we
Across the street from that house, let me finish. Across the street from those houses, from that house, is a church, all with the Jesus cross on the corner beside that house. Because I went there last night.
Right, going west.
Right there, beside the house is another church.
Right.
and there's a bunch of vacant
So-
fields. So
Yeah.
right.
And a bunch of vacant fields. You know, I heard someone say that these are going. This is going on because people don't care, and it's apparent that people don't care because I mean, look at our areas. The houses are torn down. They're abandoned. They're ripped up. You know.
And that's exactly what I wanted to speak on. This is
like they don't see or hear anything.
This is Doug Million, and I grew up in that area back in the 70s, and it has turned into something completely and totally different. I've got friends and family that are now around the world that come from that area, and someone just posted that back then when we came up, it was a different type of community.
Exactly.
It was a community. We were a village.
Yes.
We were a village. It was and it was a village raising children because someone unknown to you could reprimand or discipline you, but we've become so insensitive that people choose to turn a blind eye rather than stand up because nobody wants to take responsibility anymore for anybody else's problem. Your problem is your problem, and it's not my problem anymore. And we got to get back to, and I'm speaking to my men. I'm speaking to my men. I'm speaking to my men of all ages, because some of you grown-ass little boys, it's time to put that hat down and to stand up and become men and take our rightful places and in the community again and begin to police our communities. We can no longer continue to turn a blind eye, and this situation is shining a very bright light on it because, like you said, there are more than 10 churches in that direct area. Yeah. And we're talking right down the street from the 4th District Police Station. Right. I mean, how can you simply just continue to turn a blind eye? You got to open your eyes. You got to open your ears, and we got to start to continue. We got to begin to once again police our communities to stand up and be men.
Well, Doug, let me say something.
Okay, all that sounds good. I love the fervor that we must police our communities. Yes, we do.
Yes.
But how are we going to get our black men up off of those sixes, get up off these women?
Okay, well,
they laid up at the house with.
I can answer that. Well, not answer. I can give you some input.
Mothers,
I can give you some input.
Please
Man,
do.
this is a sax man, Russell. I'm
Hey,
Muscle
sax
on the
man.
show. How you
That's
doing?
that's our law enforcement correspondent right there, Saxman. So go ahead, Sax.
Hello, law enforcement correspondent.
Hello, how you
Tina,
doing?
This is the lawman.
I'm going to try to give
Hi.
you the law enforcement inside look of how they feel. I believe I can speak for law enforcement.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Law enforcement is also fed up with what's going on out here.
Yes, sir.
Law enforcement would love to bring things back to where it was in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Would love to go back to policing the communities strenuously as we did back in the day. But law enforcement have lots of handcuffs on them right now, and that's based on our city leaders. Our city leaders are in control, and they are in it for their own personal reasons. How can I put it? When you want to,
Straight with no chaser.
just like right now, we got people want to run for mayor. Mayor Jackson made it.
That's a tragedy.
Mayor Jackson made a comment that he wants to go back to making the city schools, the policing, and economic values of the city back more back to his make it a priority. When has he ever made it a priority?
And why is it a priority now?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
See, this is the problem with everything, okay? Policing in America is a reflection of the community.
Exactly.
Okay, so if the community assists the police department and the community comes out, like right now, these cases could be solved if someone would just come and
Open
sit
their
down
mouth.
and speak, because somebody knows what's going on. And then on the same token, law enforcement has to go back and clean their hands up and get the community's trust back and show the community. And we have last night at the thing, Commander Brian Cutts was out there, and he said some very good things right there to the women, the war on women that came to the 4th District. And I just want to say this to our listeners is that the Cleveland Police spokesperson did give us a statement. We reached out to them. They wanted to come on to the show, but right now it's an open investigation, so they only would give us a statement. And the statement is that they have officers that has been working on this case 24 hours a day around the clock since the young lady, the last young lady went missing. The problem that I have with go ahead.
They've worked on Aliana DeFreeze's case for 24 hours, or they've worked on these unsolved murders.
The statement is for the one Aliana DeFreeze's case has just started. So this is the problem.
Yes, sir.
This is the problem that I have, that next week that we're going to be talking to some of the mayors, people to put in for the mayor. Eric Brewer want to run for the mayor of the city of Cleveland.
Oh boy.
Jeff Johnson want to run
Eric
for the
Brewer.
mayor of the city of Cleveland.
You said who?
Eric Brewer.
Eric Brewer and Zach
Eric
Reed.
Okay,
Brewer.
Zach Reed. My question to them, because I'm gonna have some of them on the show next week, is the
I'll
priority.
make sure to call in on that
Right.
show.
Yeah.
The priority for the city of
They
Cleveland.
are like. Would you vote for Zach?
You
Reed
have
and
Eric Brewer,
I
the
certainly wouldn't.
former East Cleveland police officer who dressed up in women's clothing.
dress.
Okay, wait.
And makeup, lipstick and stockings.
Uh,
I don't
Dressed up in
think
women's
they
clothes.
so.
That's another show in itself. But as
I
a,
don't want to be on that show.
Right, I'm calling in on that day. I'm
So-
sorry.
We want a mayor that runs around in
Zach
drag.
Reed, I mean, like,
Sax, that
and with
that
Zach
that may
Reed,
not be a
isn't he
bad
the
thing.
That
councilman?
might be.
I mean,
Okay.
with all
pardon me,
with all
but
that
Zach
happened,
Reed,
with all that's happening
I
in,
wanna ask
in
a
the
question.
background.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
okay, Zach Reed, isn't he the council person?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Zach
just want- because
Zach
I'm
Reed is
still
the
trying to
council
learn
person.
My districts and zones and wards. Isn't he the councilman? I'm trying to be diplomatic.
Okay.
The councilman
Speak your mind.
for that stretch of area of 93rd.
That is correct. He
Did you
is
say
Zach
Reed?
Reed.
He
Zach
is the
Reed.
councilman.
Yep.
But in,
Yep.
in Zach
Yep.
Reed's
I can
defense
keep it
now,
real? Okay.
but in
How
his
can that-
defense,
How can he and all this Cleveland, Ohio,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm so very serious,
Go ahead.
this man has a ward it's a fucking dumping
Yes,
ground.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And
For
you
bodies.
mean to tell me with the police department right down the street. And you mean to tell me that he could just walk around like he was walking around yesterday? I was so disgusted.
But
How you?
He's at the
on
airport.
camera.
He's at the airport making
dead
complaints
people.
because we don't
dead
have
women.
illegal immigrants.
Let me finish.
Well,
we
that's
have
good.
Ashley, Jasmine, who is my one of my best friend's niece.
correct.
Amelia, Christine, Jessica Coleman, and now we have Ariana DeFries. How can that man even think about running for a dog catcher when you have all this death in his ward? This is painful.
Yeah.
I'm angry.
Well,
I hear your pain.
I hear her pain.
What's
Yes, I do.
going on right here? Let me say this right here. If the
He
community
messed up.
if the community
And
does
then on
not
top of
take
that,
but
oh my gosh! And what's Frank doing? How can you talk about a $2.5
but Denise,
What?
but Denise, you cannot blame your politicians and your police department when your community refuse to come to the plate. So what we have to do is this: we have to the Cleveland Police Department has been working 500 officers short. Okay, those guys are running. Those guys are running from 911 calls. They're running on thousands and thousands of 911 calls. They're leaving one person's house, going to another person's house. Your police department cannot operate that way. Okay, so it comes to the point where the community
Has got
to step up, and you have to pay. You cannot say I'm not paying taxes or I'm not going to do go out and help this. Okay, because if you don't pay taxes for police officers, then you're not going to have the protection. Okay,
Exactly.
As men, we got to stop
I
being
agree
so.
with that. Yes, sir.
As
That's
men,
just
we
common sense. I
we
agree
have
with
to
that.
stop being so politically correct and so afraid of ourselves of stepping up and stepping out again. I have children myself, and I am in fear for the youth in the times that we are now, and we have got to stand up. And I
It's not cool, Doug,
How do we
to walk
stand up,
around
sir?
and consider being a snitch to tell on next door neighbor Pookie.
You know what? There's a
it
difference,
ain't cool.
but there's a difference between telling and being a snitch. Because I'm gonna tell you right now,
Right,
Sax,
it's got
man, I'm
to
gonna
end
tell,
it.
I'm gonna tell you to your face. I'm
The
gonna
no
tell you to your
snitching
face.
rule.
If I see you doing it, if
Right.
I see you doing it,
Right.
You
I
got
seen
to
what you
consider
did.
Right.
I seen what you did, bro, and I'm gonna go tell on
The
you.
no snitching
I'm
rule
letting
has to
you
go
know
out.
Right.
before I go and being a so-called snitch in this label. That's what I'm saying. We have to get away
We gotta get past
from being labeled as and being. We got to be held more accountable
Right.
to ourselves
Right.
in helping our community.
If you hold yourself accountable, and let me say this
got
right
to.
here: if you hold yourself accountable, but I want to get back to you for a minute, Tina, so you can finish telling us your story. But if the community has to hold themselves accountable, so this is where we have to start, like the War on Women march at the 4th District yesterday,
Yes, sir.
when
Yes,
that
sir.
young lady, she had a type ship on her protest. And you see how she handled that. You see how she got the judges. You see how she got the husbands, the sons, the daughters. She brought the millennials and the young people to show them. That's what we have to do. We have to teach our community. We have to reach back and grab them. And we have to bring the weakest link up with us to teach them and show them that the police cannot police our community, okay?
Right.
Those women in that community, no matter if they put 2,000 police officers down there, without the community, we're going to continue to have the same problem.
We have to police ourselves.
Because these people are walking in our community and they feel that they can do anything with no consequences. And the only person that's going to stop them is the person down the street to see them going into that vacant house,
Absolutely.
call the police,
right.
or tell the police so and so was in that house.
You can do it anonymous. You don't have to be
Right, you
known.
can do it
Okay, let me
anonymous.
ask you something. I got a question for the police officer.
Yes, ma'am.
And Tina, I'm going to shut up in a few minutes. To the police officer, I have a question.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Okay, I understand, and I truly respect that my friends, Sandra Cooper, Lee Davis, Crystal, all at the 4th District. My brother was head of the motorcycle unit. I hear this. Nick used to always say, you can't expect the police to do everything, Denise, and I get that.
Yeah.
But how can we, as a community, as me, as this woman, go to these black men, white men, Puerto Rican men, period, y'all need to stand up. Or do we need to go out there as women and like we did yesterday, all of the women, we had 9 million women at that house.
Oh,
How do we get the men to get
well,
up?
well, Tina, let me tell you something.
Well,
to you.
that question was to the police.
Wait, well, forget the police,
Sean,
because the
sir,
police can't
Police,
answer that
sir.
question. Let me
All
tell
right,
you this,
all right,
Tina.
you go
I
ahead
want
and
the
answer.
policeman.
Okay, but I'm gonna let him. I'm gonna let him
Okay.
do that
Okay.
first.
All
But
right,
let me say this to you. Black
Yes, sir.
women has been the backbone of society
I was gonna
since
say that.
society has been made. Black women, okay? Martin Luther King was made by a black woman. You understand?
Mhm.
So it may
Yeah.
take a black woman to
exactly.
walk out on that stage and
Mhm.
force that man's hand to come beside her and
Mhm.
stand there.
That's right.
And that's what, if that's what it takes,
That's right.
guess what? There's no shame in nobody's game
That's right.
when it comes time for the community to step up. So
Mhm.
if that means a black woman got to take the lead, so be it. Let the black woman take the lead and let the men follow to protect their black women.
Sean, answer my question.
Okay,
Thank you.
that's the answer to the question.
That's the
The
answer.
police
so
can't
I
do
have
it.
another question
The
then
police
for
can't help
you
you on it.
gentlemen. Okay, so here we are, me and Tina,
Mhm.
strong sisters. We're not afraid of anything. For real. We want to know what's going on. We want to go start knocking on doors, passing out more flyers.
That's what we
What do
need
you-
to
what do y'all
start
think
doing.
about
Yep.
that?
That's what you
That's
need
what
to
you
do.
need to start doing.
You know,
And right now,
Because
just-
if it's just me and her, hopefully we'll get, if two start, like my mom used to say, when two are gathered, well maybe we'll get two more. But if that's what it's going to take, then we'll have
well,
to go down.
let me tell you how. Let me tell you how you do this. Okay, let me tell you how you do this.
Yes, sir.
You and Tina,
Tina, are you still with me?
all the women, y'all get your flyers together.
Right.
Call the 4th District Police Department. They have a community response unit. Tell them that you're going to be out here
Yes,
on this
sir.
street at this time. You're going to be passing these flyers out. You are a taxpayer. The city of Cleveland will put police cars out there to go with you. Go to the black police officers in your community. Go to the Black Shield.
Yep.
Okay. Walk down to West 58th to the Cleveland Police Patrolman Association.
Yeah.
Knock on that door. Go into the Patrolman Association and tell Steve Loomis
That's
it's
right.
time to sit down and talk
That's
as
right.
people instead of taking a side.
Go to the
It's
safety-
not about a
go
black
to the safety
side. It's
director's
not
office.
about a white side. It's about the community. Tell Steve Loomis you want to work with him. You want to work with his officers. And Steve Loomis and the patrolmen from the Cleveland Police Department will go out there with you to pass them flyers out. And they will come out there to help you work with you. And if you knock on some doors and you show your police officers some respect, and I'm going to say this to everybody, and I'm going back to Atlanta, Chicago, welcome Facebook. If you show your police officers some respect and
Yes,
treat
sir.
them the way that you want to be treated and the way you want your parents to be treated and your loved ones to be treated, you'll see a change in the community. But the problem here is that the police department also has to be accountable for their actions. So that means the good police officers are going to have to call out the bad police officers.
there you go.
But the community
Yes,
is
sir.
going
to
to have to
call
stop.
out the community.
Right, but the community is going to have to stop with painting all law enforcement officers as being bad, because they are the ones,
I agree.
they're on the cornerstone of anarchy, and without the police, this is why we have multiple women dying in our neighborhoods and being dropped in the street like cattle, because the community has no respect for itself and it has no respect for its police department.
And another part of that solution is, ladies, you know how to motivate your men. So reach out to the women
sir.
in these households. Get them to motivate their men.
Right.
Because you women are what motivate us. We are now
Yes,
your
sir.
ride and die. This is a new society we're living in. And right now, men in the community, we are a weak link.
Yes.
And we need that strength. We need somebody to push us to stand up. So when you get out there and you take them flyers, take some extra flyers, and when you knock on them doors, put them flyers in the hands of the girlfriends, the side chick, the wives, and the women of these men that's sitting on their behinds,
Right.
and tell them put these flyers in their hands and motivate these men to get out here. Y'all know how to motivate us. Y'all know exactly what to do to
Tell them
motivate
put
us.
down that PlayStation and get busy.
And what it is, you got to unplug that PlayStation.
that's
You
right.
got to take that blunt up out their hand.
That's
you got to
right.
bust that 40-ounce
40
bottle
ounce
on the
of-
floor,
that's
and you
right.
got to take and you got to shut that kitty cat
That's
down
right.
and say, you know what? No more kitty
know
cat
what?
until
That's
you do this.
right.
And I'm being, you know what? Y'all
It's
think
the
I'm being
truth.
silly,
That's
but I'm
right.
telling the truth.
right.
I'm telling the truth. 'cause
That'll
you know what?
motivate a brother.
At home. at home. I consider myself a strong man because I was taught by a very strong woman. I was raised by 3 women.
Women are
I
the
was raised by
backbone.
my
Women are the
mom.
backbone.
I was raised by my mom and my 2 sisters, and they knew how to motivate me. And I consider myself a very strong man. And the woman that I have at home right now has my back 100%. But guess what? When I'm out of line, when I'm resting on my laurels, when I ain't doing what I'm supposed to do, she certainly does know how to motivate me, and she does that. And you gotta push. You can't just push back against the police. You cannot just push back against your community leaders. You gotta push these men in the community. You gotta motivate them because we need some type of motivation to get us going.
Just like I said before, the police want to. They want to do just what you want.
And if
they want it bad.
And if you motivate these brothers and they see these brothers starting to stand up because these women are making them, because they done shut them completely down. They done unplugged the PlayStation. They done changed the lock on the door.
And they out there.
Won't pay that bill. They won't pay that cell phone bill unless he do. Once they see us starting to do, then they'll step up.
And you have to do that. But before we get away, Tina,
I want y'all to talk. Let Tina talk.
Right. I want Tina to talk, and I want Tina to tell us, Tina, what's going on with you and what you feel, and what can the community do to help you and your family and the other families with their pain and everything.
Okay. Well, so I've been sitting back just listening, and the whole situation with the police officers, I get the whole process of what they have to go through and what they have to follow by their higher authority. But I'm wondering why it took so long for a 14-year-old to be murdered, for everything to get so serious. Why wasn't I on the radio when 3 other women died, after my sister? Or why didn't we have this big gathering for these other women?
Well, I can tell.
The other women, I feel like they died, and it was what it was, and that's it. When my sister was missing, the detective that I had for the missing person called me every day, updated me on everything. Once it went over to homicide, I met with the detective one time, and she said, okay, since you've done this and this, I'll just make sure I contact you. I contacted her a few times afterwards. All I got was they had a suspect at that time, which was my sister's boyfriend, holding him. Okay, so that's a possibility. I'm thinking, I'm going to get back to you. She gets back to me, oh, we have nothing.
Well,
So, I haven't talked to the detective in probably 2 years. My mom had a meeting with her about 2 months ago. She canceled.
But let me ask you this question right here.
We haven't heard nothing.
But let me ask you this question, Tina. Have you been forceful enough? Have you contacted Deputy Chief Drummond or the commander or someone in authority other than talking to the detective? Have you said, okay, the detective's not giving me the respect that I deserve or giving me what you think? Did you contact somebody else to reach out to like your councilman or city hall or supervisor to find out what was going on?
No, because I don't have that knowledge of who I need to contact.
Okay, well, let me assist you right here with this. I know that our homicide detectives, once again, and I'm going to say this again, are under siege. Okay, our police officers are under siege. They're overworked. There's not enough of them, and I understand that there's cases like we're talking about right now with the homicides and stuff that. If the city of Cleveland maybe invest in their police department, we might not have this problem. Okay. So what happens here is one detective may be working on 3 or 4 cases at the same time. That's no excuse for their actions or the way they handle things, but that can be a problem. And it's hard to prioritize families that are in need. So that's why you need to talk to somebody, maybe a sergeant or somebody who's not involved in your case, that's able to go check on your case to see what's going on with your case so they can come back and give you the special attention that you need that officer can't do. And it's impossible to ask the detective to handle 3 cases and try an investigation and then try to come back and sit down and and be a diplomat about things, and that's not just it's just improper, and they can't do it. So you have to reach out to like your councilman Zach Reed, your city hall, uh, to your liaison person like Denise, who can reach out to the commander of the 4th district, or maybe that detective that was your missing person detective. Maybe if you reach out to him, maybe he can make a phone call and stuff. But I can't make excuses for individuals, but I do know what they go through. But what we need to do is, what everybody has to understand is that this has been a problem in the city of Cleveland now since 1980. We did some we
since before that.
Right, we
since
did
before
some
that. It's just been covered up.
We did some investigation ourselves. And far as the news media is concerned and reporting on certain things, you have to understand the news media only reports on what they feel is good news or what social media does. Like now, it's a social media craze. We are on internet radio in 19 cities and across. So since we are here in the city of Cleveland, we're taking a step to come out in the community, and we asked all the families to come on the air with us and to talk with us. We asked Denise to get them. We asked for the activists and stuff to come. Jim Brown, next week is going to be one of the things that we're going to talk to one of his groups about, boots on the ground, just what you just talked about, black men coming into the community and taking control and policing the community to make it safe for our women. So that's what we're looking at. So Tina,
I've been listening to you, and I want to intervene. This is Doug Million, and I want to intervene, and I hear what you're saying, and call them all out on the table. Listen, I'm going to tell you, I am not an advocate or a foe, but what I'm saying is this: call them all out on the table. Call your community leaders out on the table. Get on the phone. Call Carl Mundy. Call all these investigative teams that want to investigate all this other stuff. Make them investigate that. Make them investigate the police and find out why they're not. You get motivated and motivate them. And also, there's a show
from the beginning.
Okay, and continue to do it. And there's a show that comes on TV, and I really hate to say it, my city is always on this show. First 48 hours. Try contacting them.
And
the first
Crime 360.
The first
Okay,
48 hours, and go ahead.
Crime
Okay,
360,
go ahead,
baby.
Tina.
So the first 48 hours, we're supposed to meet with my mom when this first happened.
Call them again.
Something happened where it canceled. Okay, so I didn't have that question. If I was still able to do the 48 hours, even though it's 4 years later.
well,
Yes,
you have to
you know
call.
what? You know what? I watch that show. It pulls me in because, like I said, there's certain cities that is always on that show, and Cleveland is the #1 city that is always on the first 48 hours. And they have after the first 48, they got years after. They go years beyond. They follow these cases to the very end.
we have to go pay some bills, but wait a minute, Tina and Denise, can you hold on for about 10 minutes and stay with us, because there's some other stuff we want to talk to you about.
Please stay with us.
Right after our break, we got to go pay some bills. So can you stay with us?
We're right here with you.
Okay, just hold on for 1 minute, and we will be right back.
A great business needs a stunning website. And with Wix.com, you can do it all by yourself. Wix.com makes it easy to look amazing online, no matter what type of business you're in. Show off your images in a beautiful gallery. Grow your contact list and get all your social media in one place, just the way you want. Your customers are going to love it. So, what are you waiting for? Show the world what you can do.
Stop the madness. Keep it 100. The best talk show on the web is here on STMK Radio 100 with your hosts, Sean L., Let, and Tone the Stone. Come join us from 6 to 8 p.m. Mondays through Fridays. Stop the madness. Keep it 100 with live call-ins, heated discussions about current events, politics, national news, weather, and sports. Join our live online chat room and let your opinion show. Download our phone app. Stop the madness. Keep it 100 on STMK Radio 100. Come join us from 6 to 8 p.m. Mondays through Fridays. The best talk show on the web is here on STMK Radio 100. Call us at 1-866-484-7865. That's 1-866-484-STMK. Stop the madness.
Geico presents sharing versus oversharing. Earlier this week, Claire Tippins shared a princess nickname generator, 3 pictures of her dog wearing a tutu, and 2 online quizzes, including what candy is your dream castle made of? Claire, your sharing has tipped the sugar scale and turned into oversharing. But have no fear, princess. Geico has something worth sharing with your internet kingdom, like how you could save hundreds on your car insurance just by visiting geico.com. No magic wand required. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15%.
At the Table with Reverend Bill Miller on STMK Radio 100. Check out Reverend Bill Miller's Bible study radio broadcast live on the new STMK Radio 100 at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Please listen in and support him as he joins the realm of broadcasting to encourage believers and offer the comfort of God to others across the airwaves. At the Table with Reverend Bill Miller on STMK Radio 100. Also, feel free to contact him for prayer, counseling, and conversation at brobill9608@yahoo.com. That's BROBILL9608@yahoo.com. At the Table with Reverend Bill Miller on STMK Radio 100.
STMK Radio 100.
we've got the perfect wine club for you. Wink is a revolutionary wine club that delivers high-quality wine straight to your door. They partner with innovative winemakers from all over the world, and you can pick and choose the types of wines and the number of bottles you receive each month. Start drinking personalized wine selections today. Right now, Wink is offering listeners $20 off your first order when you go to trywink.com/podcast. And it gets even better. I know you all hate paying for shipping, so Wink will actually pay for your shipping on orders of 4 bottles or more. So take something off your to-do list. Just go to trywink.com/podcast to get $20 off your first order now. That's trywink.com/podcast.
AP Radio News. I'm Ed Donahue. There is more coming out about what President Trump called a tough telephone call with the Prime Minister of Australia. Trump says America's agreement to take mostly Muslim refugees seeking asylum in Australia was a dumb deal negotiated by his predecessor. Here's the AP's Mark Smith.
The president tells reporters he's stunned President Obama agreed to take some 1,250 asylum seekers when Australia wouldn't.
I said, why? Why are we doing this? What's the purpose?
And said so bluntly to Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull over the phone.
We have some wonderful allies, but we're going to keep it that way. But we have to be treated fairly also.
Officials here say the deal is still on, but Trump's very upset about it, and the refugees will face extreme vetting. Meantime, Arizona Senator John McCain called the Australian ambassador with reassurances, noting Aussies have fought and died with U.S. troops in Iraq and Afghanistan. Mark Smith at the White House.
Republicans muscled through President Trump's pick of Scott Pruitt to run the EPA by suspending Senate committee rules after Democrats boycotted a vote. 2 Senate committees voted along party lines to send Trump's nominee to lead the White House Budget Office, Mick Mulvaney, to the full Senate for a vote. The president of the Correctional Officers Union in Delaware says poor staffing is in part to blame for the hostage situation at a prison there. One corrections officer, Sergeant Stephen Foley, was killed.
Sergeant Floyd didn't have to die yesterday. We've been asking for help from the previous governor, and we got none.
The inmates told a local newspaper they were upset about their treatment and the leadership of the country. The union president said he believes inmates had been practicing taking over a prison. A police officer in Nashville died after slipping into the swift currents of a river, trying to get a suicidal woman out of a car that was quickly moving toward the water. The Dow is down 36 points. This is AP Radio News. The CEO of fashion company Ralph Lauren is quitting.
Stefan Larsson said in a conference call with investors that he and Ralph Lauren simply couldn't find common ground on how to revitalize the venerable brand going forward.
We have found that we have different views on how to evolve the creative and consumer-facing parts of the business.
2 years ago, Larsson became the company's only CEO not named Ralph Lauren. The company, which sells a vast array of clothing and home furnishings, has had trouble maintaining its cachet with younger buyers. Larsson did not detail his differences with the 77-year-old founder and namesake. The news overshadowed quarterly earnings that beat expectations. Warren Levinson, New York.
There is a voluntary recall of some varieties of Skoal, Copenhagen, Cope, and Husky smokeless tobacco. There's been complaints of metal objects, some of them sharp, spotted in the cans. There have been no reports of any injuries. The Food and Drug Administration says the object was visible in each case. I'm Ed Donahue, AP Radio News.
You're listening to Stop the Madness. Keep it 100 with your host, Sean L., Let, and Tone the Stone on STMK Radio 100. 100. 100.
Welcome back to Stop the Madness. Keep it 100. I'm your host, Sean L. We're in Studio 51 today with Doug and Saxman, and we're talking to family of murder victims here in the city of Cleveland. We're on the phone with Tina and the community activist Denise. Tina, we want to go back to you when we was talking to you earlier. Have you reached out to some help groups yet, or are you trying to deal with this all by yourself?
before I had no support when I tried this from the beginning. I'm the oldest out of 8, so I had to do funeral, media, detectives, and it was just overwhelming. Now I do have Laura, I can't remember the last name.
Cowan.
Okay. She's an advocate. She randomly just inboxed me on Facebook, and we've kept in contact since. That was maybe about a year ago. Also, now I have Denise, which they have a little bit more knowledge, which helps me. And if I got somebody that has my back, I feel like this time I might get a little farther. I feel in my heart 100%, my sister's murder, I don't know about the other murders, but I feel in my heart, my sister's murder is going to be solved.
Okay, have you reached out to the state of Ohio?
Horrible. I'm sorry?
Have you reached out to the state of Ohio, victims of crimes, and the programs that they have that be able to help your family financially and emotionally and stuff?
Yes. Okay. So when she did pass away, at that time, my nephew was 1, my niece was 2. They stayed with my brother. They did the whole victims of crime. Kids are in counseling. My niece and nephew don't even know their mother. Like my niece, she's 5, and she gets the whole mama 1 is in Advent. But I need answers for them. Because they're gonna one day have so many questions, and I don't know why, but I feel like me being the oldest, this is my job to make sure I get those answers for them.
Have you reached out to Mrs. Pointer? I think that was her name. She's an advocate with
Yvonne Pointer?
Right, Yvonne Pointer. She's an advocate with the city of Cleveland. She works with the investigators and like the commanders over special investigations and stuff. Have you reached out to her to get some help from her and some counseling? You need to do that because she's really wrapped up with the city and she's an advocate for victims and stuff, and she can really help you through this. You really need to get involved with her and reach out to her so she can help you and your family.
Right. Do you have a telephone number for her, sir?
I don't have the number right now, but we will get it and we will put it out.
Okay.
Denise, we like to.
I just feel like every time during this part of the year, I get this feeling for we're gonna get something, and then nothing.
Don't give up.
I'm asking. I won't give up.
Don't give up. Never give up.
I will not give up is for my niece and nephew. I will not give up for my niece and nephew. They will know what happened, even though it's a horrible thing. They're gonna find out what happened to their mom, but I'm gonna make sure I have those answers for them.
Keep
but
pushing.
I just wish it didn't take so long, and for a 14-year-old baby to lose her life before now let's work. They were working on my case 24 hours a day.
Have you had any counseling yet?
They didn't care.
Have you had any counseling?
No.
Any type of counseling? Nothing like
No.
that? Sean, is there some place where she can go or anybody she can call to get
Well,
some
Mothers Against Violence?
Right. She need to go with Mothers Against Violence. You need to reach out for some counseling and help. And Denise, you need to help her reach out for that.
I agree 100%. Since my sister's death, I went to counseling for a little bit. I've had to get on medication.
Right.
I have post-traumatic stress.
That's why you need to reach out, and everybody need to reach out for you. And Denise, since you're involved with the community and stuff, maybe some outreach things within the community, you can help her out. But Denise, the Women's March, we want to ask you about the War on Women's March. Are we going to have more of those marches, or is going to be more activities like that planned for the city of Cleveland, or what you got going on?
I am truly. This was my really my second event working with Laura Cowan. The War on Women, for the Wall of Women, and according to her, there will be other events as it relates to this East 93rd Street
right,
murder.
and for the people.
Can I butt in 1 second?
Yes, you may, honey. Handle your business.
Yeah, come on, Tina.
I know Saturday, they are having some type of gathering on Fuller for the little baby.
Aliana DeFreeze.
For the people who
At
don't know,
3:30.
for the people who don't know, Laura Crown is a activist here in Cleveland, and she did
She's amazing.
she did the domestic violence against women thing, and we're going to reach out to her, try to get her on the air with us also. Tina and Denise, we thank you very much for coming on Stop the
Right
Madness.
quick before
Keep
you
It
let them
100.
go, I want to reach out to Tina one more time. Tina, listen,
you.
I want to tell you something that I tell my children, something that I tell my son and my daughters. I have a 32-year-old, a 22-year-old, and a 20-year-old, and I tell them all the time. My daughter always says, teamwork makes the dream work. Get yourself a support group. I understand that you feel like you have to do all this, and yes, it all falls on you, but get yourself a support group and begin to delegate, where you can get some of this stress and some of this off of you, where you can then begin to see clear, where you can step forward a little bit more. But in the meantime, you have a support group, people like Denise that and Mothers Against Violence that are going to step up and they're going to help you. Delegate the work to them. Don't take it all upon yourself. Lean on your support group. Find you a support group. Dig in. Lean on them. Get yourself some release. I'm not saying give up and give it away.
And
I'm
Denise-
saying get a support group to help you fight
Right,
even
and Denise,
harder.
you help her out right there.
Also, I think a lot of support groups, maybe they also need to reach out. That was my sister, and how much it mentally destroyed me. I think about the children of those mothers and the mothers and fathers of those girls. I feel like we need more people to start reaching out to them, because, like me, when I'm feeling down and I'm missing my sister, or I'm going through that moment, I'm not looking to reach out for somebody. because
Right,
I'm
right,
in
right.
that-
So
in
what
that
I'm
feeling.
saying is,
I think we also need to reach out.
right, what I'm saying is maybe even reaching out to some of these other families. Find a way to contact them, and
Yeah.
you guys get
They can be
together.
part of your support group.
And they can be a part of
Yeah,
your
that's right.
support group.
Be a
When I
part of
say
it.
support group, I'm not talking about outside entities. I'm talking about people that can help you help yourself.
And
Because
Denise,
this thing can bog you down and hold you down without you even knowing it, because you feel like you gotta be so strong. A chain can only be as strong as its weakest link.
But
And
Denise,
you
we
can
gonna
be
need
your
you
own
to
worst enemy.
Denise, we're gonna need you to look out for her, okay?
Yeah, definitely look out for her.
Denise, you look out for her, and we thank y'all for coming on the show today and joining us. And we're gonna reach out to a couple of more people, and we also gonna reach out to the police department and get the community involved. And Denise, we're gonna have you back so you can give us some of the programs that you're doing, and we can talk about you at that time. So we'd like to thank both of y'all for coming on the air with us.
Thank you for having us very much.
Okay.
I appreciate you, Sean.
Bye.
All right, Denise.
Bye.
Mr. Police Officer, I appreciate you.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate you, and I wish you all the best. To both
What's
of
your
you.
name, sir?
Saxman Russell.
Okay, so we just had on the phone victims of the homicides here in the city of Cleveland, their families. We like to once again give them our condolences. On today's show, we was talking about violence in the city of Cleveland and the deaths of 6 women in a 1-mile area. And we reached out to the Cuyahoga County coroner's office, but the police department gave us a statement, and to be you heard some things from the family to how they feel that they wasn't being told what was going on and they wasn't being treated right. As I stressed to that family member and the activist, the Cleveland Police Department is overworked. Those guys are doing 100%
overwhelmed,
doing their job. It may not look like it, you may not feel it, but those guys are giving it 100%. The latest victim was found because they went out and they searched for that victim and searched vacant properties and stuff. And the Cleveland Police Department commander of the 4th District did give out a statement that he had his officers working 24 hours a day on that case. The FBI and the BCI is also working on that case. Now, last night, when they did the War on Women's March at the 4th District, I personally went out with investigators and patrolled some of that area and looked at what they was looking at and went around. And it's just staggering what they have to deal with. Right now, they have 1,370 suspects to start with. Okay? That's how many sexual offenders are in that 5-block area and within 5 miles of that area.
Is that recorded?
Yes, that's recorded. All the information we give you is 100% recorded. You can go to the Ohio Attorney General's office, type in your address for sexual offenders, and the Sheriff Department and the Attorney General would tell you, not only would they tell you who they are, what they did, they will show you a picture of them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
And this is something that just came out yesterday from people who's close to the case who wish to remain anonymous. That has really shocked this community to the core is that a 2-tier sexual offender lives right next door to where the body of the young girl was found.
2-tier.
Okay, so that is very, very issue point right there that we all must understand, which is driving the whole community right now in fear. And it's time for
Explain to the people what a 2-tier is.
well, a 2-tier and a 3-tier offender is one who does heinous crimes to their victims, and it goes up the worse the crime is. What you need to do is go to the state attorney general's office so they can give you the whole breakdown of it. We have a breakdown that they gave us where we
aren't these also the type of predators that are supposed to report to the authorities who they are, where they're living, the communities they're in, and what they like. I'm not saying that they do it, but I'm just trying to I'm trying to get the people in the chat room and everybody out there that's listening a little more insight into who these people, what a tier 2 and a tier 3 is.
You read the statement that the attorney general gave last time that there's 221 offenders
that they don't even know where they're at.
That they don't even know where they're at. They haven't reported. Okay, and the sheriff department has a unit that goes out and look for these people. So it's not like that it's not being done. Okay?
Chat room
it's just
and
we don't have enough people.
Chat room and listeners, I hope y'all listening to this. And again, I have to reiterate, and I'm not just saying this just to be saying this, because I'm very involved in my community because I have children, I have grandchildren, and I believe it all begins and ends at home, like my mama taught me. And I'm saying to you, listeners in chat room, this is again, men, we gotta step up.
Step up.
We not must. We don't have to. We don't need. We got to. We got to. We cannot continue to give our manhood away. There it is. We can't continue to give our manhood away. We cannot continue to castrate ourselves.
They feel they've been castrated already by their baby mama.
We can't continue to be punks.
Well, we
can't continue to be punks. We got to step up and start being men. We can't continue to be these grown-ass little boys.
So what we need to do, though, we'd be remiss. Some of those victims right there, Jessica Coleman, Christina Malone, Jasmine Trouter, Jamela Hassan, Anio DeFries, and Ashley, we need to reach out to their families, and the community needs to help them. As you heard the one family member talk about nobody reaching out to them and they're feeling alone, the community needs to step up with that and help them out. And the community's going to have to get involved. This is not a job that the police department can do itself. Okay, so if you're sitting here talking about the police department, and that's not going to happen. The community's going to have to get involved.
That's what I'm talking about. Men in the community.
We just talked to some families earlier in the show, as you heard. If you just been coming with us, Facebook, thank you for coming on, and everybody that has really have pain and hurt. And the coroner's office gave a stat out that is just staggering to me. Since 1980, we have had 28 women killed and dumped in the city of Cleveland and Cuyahoga County, and their cases remains unsolved today. Okay, that is staggering. From the Euclid Green area, the East Cleveland, East 79th area, now in the 4th District, South Side, and now 6 in the 93rd area in the last 4 years. 6 females dumped And when I was with the investigators, the last one was taking, we don't know this, but the last one was last seen in a busy intersection area, 93rd and Kinsman. And there's video there, but it's like she just vanished. Somebody seen something. It may not be nothing to you. It may have been the weird guy sitting in the Cadillac over in the corner. It may have been the guy that asked you if you needed a ride. Somebody seen something.
It might have been that guy asking you for some change. If
Right.
you've seen something,
say
something.
Call the 4th District. They have officers walking around.
Send them an anonymous letter.
That's all they have to do.
Give them an anonymous phone
And-
call.
You can
You
be
don't
anonymous
got to
phone
show
call.
your face. You
Exactly.
ain't got to
You don't have to
give
be
your
afraid
name.
to
You
help.
don't got to give your
You don't have to be
family
afraid.
history in
That's
order
right.
to help. Think about this. Close your eyes for a minute. And think about all these women that we were just talking about, these young ladies that we were just talking about, and the families we were talking about. Jessica Coleman, Christine Malone, Jasmine Trotter, Jamila Hassan, Alina DeFries, Ashley Lewinsky.
And that's
Think
just the
about
six.
if it was your family member.
But you
Think
know,
about if it was your child, your daughter,
the
your
chat,
niece,
the chat
your
room
granddaughter.
the chat room just said something that's very striking, and I want to say this. It's not like the city of Cleveland has not had a problem with abuse on women, because if you go back to the one guy that killed all the women,
Anthony Sowell?
Anthony Sowell.
So well.
His neighbors and nobody reported him, and they let that go until somebody jumped out his window. Then you go back to the guy in East Cleveland, Madison, that killed the women.
Yep.
So when we don't get involved and we don't look, be that nosy neighbor.
Please.
Because
Okay.
the police can only do but
So
much.
much.
Well, the police can't do anything. I'm going to tell these people right here, when you cut the police force by 500 officers, okay, that's like taking all the lights out of your house.
Right.
You're going to walk around in the dark, okay, because those other officers are running 911 calls, handling calls from service, and the police officers are the only ones that you can call 24 hours a day for anything. They don't get no break. They don't get to take time out. So,
But you get slow
Great.
response time.
well, slow response time comes from the lack of personnel.
Exactly.
Okay, you cannot do more with less. And on that note, right there, we're gonna get off the Cleveland scene. I want you to get involved with the murders, and we're gonna go to the national thing right there, and we're gonna talk about what's going on the national scene. We're gonna do a little politics here. So we're gonna change the note.
Oh boy!
My mama said 2 things you don't talk about: religion and politics.
Whoop, whoop. You know, when you became. But let's just go right here.
Sex man, you're fired.
Saturday, I was at the town hall meetings, and
Believe me when I tell you. Believe me when I tell you. Believe me, you're fired.
right. But
Believe me.
I'm going to say this right here, and I told everybody this at the town hall meeting, and the Burn Your Bus people that's in the fired up right now, because I know y'all been waiting for this from the chat room.
But you got what you asked for.
And Facebook, we are going. Let me say this here.
You got what you voted for.
You got it.
If
And
you,
if you didn't vote, you
You
voted
got-
for Trump.
Right, exactly.
Right.
You got what you wanted when you voted, and you got what you wanted when you didn't vote.
The
And you knew
man
this
was
was gonna
saying what
happen.
he was going to do the whole time.
The man stepped up to the plate and
And
kept
now,
his word.
and now you want to get mad.
The first
Now you wanna get
politician.
mad.
Exactly.
And
Right,
you
the
know
first
what?
politician.
First
Hey,
politician
facts
that
man.
stepped up and said
Sex
that he
man.
was going to do something.
Sex
didn't.
man. That's just like me saying to you, look,
All
I'm
right.
going to get up in about 20 seconds and come over there and punch you in your face. And
Right.
you just sit there.
Saying
and when I
what?
get up and come over there and punch you in your face, say, damn, he just punched me in my face.
Because you know why? Because the last 3 guys that sat in your chair said that didn't do nothing.
See, exactly. Exactly.
That's
He
what I'm saying.
did something about
He
it.
did something
But
about
the problem here is that everybody has to understand is that the laws that are being passed well, not laws, executive orders and everything.
Executive orders. Big
Uh,
difference.
First day.
The chief in
Day
North
one.
Dakota gave us a statement from North Dakota. And like I said, we're going to be remiss here if we don't talk to the people that's being hurt and the things that's being done, okay? We all like to joke about it, and we all like to take the thing. But people up in North Dakota and South Dakota and Standing Rock right now, they're preparing to have a battle with law enforcement, and it is not going to end good.
And my people's fight.
The United States Army has been ordered to allow construction and the final pieces of the pipeline to be put up. and then they're going to start breaking ground for the XL pipeline.
But
So-
this time it's gonna be a fight. 'Cause
Well-
see, they did that before when the Pilgrims come over here, and they did, and they signed all them treaties, and they pushed them further off and
Well,
further off.
it's
and
gonna
they
be a
killed
problem.
all the Negro buffalo, and they took all their food, and that man, this time it's gonna be a problem.
We need you to work.
It's gonna be a problem.
So the second thing that's going on right now, because I said there's a lot, so we're gonna go down.
Okay.
Israel is going to evict the people off the West Bank and build the 3,000 homes, and they're going to break the agreement that they had. And that comes because the Trump administration said go ahead. And then you have two former cybersecurity experts in Russia who was arrested and is now facing the death penalty
Dun, 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 dun.
because it is alleged that they told U.S. intelligence agents of the Russian hacking.
Trump, one of Trump's boys.
Right. And to date, Trump has lifted sanctions on Russia.
I knew it.
What?
I knew it.
Okay.
I knew it.
Listen, Russia is a friend to the Americas, United States all the time.
So you have to look at this
want
too.
to be a friend.
So you have to look at this. In the town hall meeting when we had all this, so we're gonna get a little serious here for a minute. In the town hall meeting, everyone knew what was going to take place when Trump became president because he told you. 46.7% of Americans stayed home. So if you stayed home, you have no argument. You
voted
cannot
for
cry.
Trump.
You voted
Okay?
for Trump, exactly.
You sanctioned on the pipelines. Now the American Indians have two pipelines coming down instead of one. Then you have the laws of the ban. If a person tell you who they are, believe them. Okay, don't try to make them around anything. He's doing exactly what he said he was going to do. The only
He's
problem,
making America great again.
the only problem that I have with anything that President Trump is doing is that people are being placed in charge of positions and cabinets that they have no idea what's going on.
No clue.
I was in the town hall and I asked
glad you
a
said
thing
it.
about this. It's you have a secretary of education who does not even know how Pell Grants and grants
Probably don't even
are
have a
done.
GED.
Okay.
What's a Pell Grant?
Then you have this is the kicker part right here, people, and this should concern everyone. I don't care what side you on. This should concern you. You have a man in charge of the Department of Energy who does not even know that he is responsible for the nuclear arsenal that is now under his care. That is, if it wasn't so scary, it'll be funny.
He missed that meeting. He missed that meeting.
Right, but you know what? He had the nerve to
He
tell
missed
him,
that
but he had the nerve to tell America that he didn't know.
I didn't know.
He came straight
Okay.
out and said he didn't know.
I
Didn't
ain't
know.
know. Wait,
And-
wait, hold
politician
on.
that
You
said
mean-
he didn't know.
Hold on.
Yeah,
you
he didn't
mean-
know.
You mean I'm in charge of the nuclear program,
program?
too?
That's
hold
correct.
Hold on. I didn't sign on for this issue.
What page is that on?
I'm looking and
Let me-
I'm looking
let
in the
me
book.
go
that
through
t-
this
hold
again
on.
and
I
look at
don't.
this.
Well, it don't say nothing about
know what,
being
we-
in charge of
Did you
nuclear.
say
nothing.
nuclear?
You know what? We
Oh.
we spent so much time on our first segment here. Let's go and take a break, and then we're gonna come right back.
Breaking.
AP Update. I'm Ed Donahue. President Trump has said his phone call last weekend with the Prime Minister of Australia was tough. He went into detail today. Trump talked about a deal President Obama worked out where America would take in some refugees Australia wouldn't take in.
Why? 1,250, could be 2,000, could be more than that. And I said, why? Why are we doing this? What's the purpose?
Trump says it's time to stand up, even with close allies like Australia.
You know, a previous administration does something, you have to respect that. But you can also say, why are we doing this? That's why we're in the jams that we're in.
According to a White House official, the call with Malcolm Turnbull ended early, after about 30 minutes. That's about half as long as some of Trump's recent calls with other world leaders. Turnbull says the call did not end with Trump hanging up, and said in an interview in Australia that the call ended courteously. AP Update. I'm Ed Donahue.
Napa know-how. The Napa guy knows not to judge a man by his car's multicolored paint job or absence of modern gadgetry. Who cares if it's technically old enough to vote and the windows are powered by the strength of your left arm? Your monthly payment is zero, and it'll stay that way. Because with over 500,000 parts and a little Napa know-how, you can keep anything on the road. She may not be pretty, but she's all yours. That's Napa know-how.
You've been tuned in to Stop the Madness, keeping it 100 on STMK Radio 100. And now back to your host one more time, Sean L., Let, and Tone the Stone.
Welcome to Stop the Madness, Keep It 100. Wow. I'm your host, Sean L. in Studio 51 with Doug and Sax Man.
Here we go. Here we go.
You know, Facebook just kicked
no one's
us
supposed
again.
to know I'm here, man.
Right. Oh, ain't nobody supposed to know you here.
Saying
Facebook just kicked us off again, so we've been cut off. On there again.
We done got cut short again.
Sean didn't pay his bills again.
Yeah,
Sean,
right.
when you gonna pay your bills?
You know, we was talking earlier about Trump and what's going on. I just want to go back and reiterate on that one thing right there. Is that
go ahead.
A lot of people, Bernie or Bus or and them, they're serious about protests and taking a protest and keeping a protest and what are we doing, how are we going to do it, and everybody needs to take this a little bit serious though. You just can't take it down with a grain of salt because this is going to affect a lot of people's lives. But I'm like my man Al, and when Al says something, everybody listens.
Don't vote. There's now yelling, why did Trump win? He won because you didn't vote. The same militant language of saying, I don't vote, I don't believe in it. Now you want to lead the resistance to Trump when you helped produce Trump.
Now, you helped produce Trump, and that's what I'm telling everybody right there. How are you going to be the one that leads the resistance? I even told a person who I know very well when we got back and forth into a heated discussion. In the chat room, they got a heated discussion. When you start talking about values and your beliefs, you didn't believe in it when you voted third party. You didn't believe in it when you stayed at home.
That's true.
Okay, so now you want to lead a resistance and you want to fight what's going on and you want to talk about why this is going on. It's happening because of hate, because you hated Hillary so bad and you got so mad because Bernie couldn't make it that you allowed this to happen, and now you have
you won't get
millions of people suffering. Okay, you got millions of people suffering. I'm going to say it right the way it is. You got millions of people suffering and going around. It's just unbelievable. And I want to say that it's game over. I'm gonna have to say this. It's game over.
Not game on. Game over.
Because if you see what happened today, the Democrats all walked out of the hearing. And as soon as the last Democrat walked out of the door, the Republican changed the rules of the game and approved and pushed everything they did forward. So guess what? The first time they get the hint that they're going to be a filibuster on the next Supreme Court justice, they're going to drop the nuclear option, blocking the filibusters, and now there's going to be whatever goes.
And Trump told him that too. He said that yesterday.
Said he was gonna
right
do that.
there. He said, you know what? I'm gonna tell my boy. We're gonna do it like this. We're gonna go nuclear.
Right, and they're going to
And
go.
after he said that, they got up and walked out.
He actually put together. It's like you got your little green
scream
army man.
team.
You got your green army men back in the day. Well, I'm just telling my age now. The
Oh,
little green army man.
you had Green Army Man?
I had Green Army Man.
I never had them.
And you set your little fort up, and you set your men up, and you say, "I'm gonna attack with these two, and I'm gonna attack with these folks." He said what he was gonna do.
He said it.
He said it. That's correct. He said what
He
he's gonna
said,
do.
"I'm gonna come
he
over
set his
there."
Green Army men up and put them to work.
He said, "I'm gonna come over there and I'm gonna punch you in the face."
Yeah.
And people, you gotta understand. Listen, Donald Trump is gonna do exactly what he said he's gonna do. He's gonna make America great again. But you gotta understand, it's just like making an omelet. When you make an omelet, what's the first thing you gotta do?
Crack some
You
eggs.
gotta break some eggs,
Right.
So that it's not gonna be joyful and it's not gonna be fun.
Nope.
But he gonna do what he said he was gonna
But
do.
first
But he
thing-
gonna do it
in
his
the,
way.
In the chat
He gonna
room,
do it his way.
I'm in the chat room right now, and I'm trying to do three things while y'all talking. But in the chat room, they're talking about right now. They want to know about.
Don't be trying to lynch me, chat room.
This-
I ain't do it. It was Trump that did it.
They want to know about this when the preacher said about the black gang thug leaders who called him, and
I want to know who that was.
I like to know
because
who
I
that
know
was.
some folk.
I don't know who.
I know some folk, and
the-
I want to know who this was.
the
Some
question.
thugs called it the president.
Ain't none of them.
So
Not near none of
So the
them.
question is, what I want to say is, I do not know why black
Was
kids.
it Kanye West?
Hey, I don't know why black kids had to be addressed that way as black
Kanye
king
West.
thug gang. I think the best way that should have been said was gang leaders in Chicago called.
I don't even believe that.
We talking about Trump, so he gonna say what he say. Black thugs. That's what he think of.
Tookie Williams is dead.
Tookie Williams is gone.
Tookie Williams is gone.
The
He-
Bloods and the Crips don't. You don't even hear nothing about them anymore.
They ain't even do it. It's a whole new gang
It's a
now.
whole new gang.
It's called the President of the United States of America
and his cabinet.
And the cabinet is called the Republicans. I'm gonna go Republican on
That's
your
right.
ass.
Don't let me unload this Republican on you.
So that's the thing. But next week on our show, Stop the Madness, Keep It 100, we're going to be really going in depth into some of the laws and things that's been happening with the Republicans and what's going on with the Democrats, where we need to go from.
Executive decisions.
And we're going to have some top Democrat leaders that's going to give us a call that we're going to talk to, and we're going to go in there. But with further ado, what everybody been waiting for, yes, chat room, I do have on my throwback Atlanta jersey
Atlanta
price, and I'm going to go with this. I told everybody last week that if
ATL, baby.
ATL play that way, even though Doug is 0,
Hey, baby.
0 and
Gigi?
0.
Hold on. How Doug 0-0?
Hold on.
I've been pulling for Atlanta the whole
you
time.
had Dallas,
I'm
and you
about to
had
put you on my speaker.
I had Dallas.
and you had Rogers, Sick Gun, throwback Rogers. Okay.
You listen to sports.
Yeah.
And what we gonna do-
I also had
You just,
what's that
the,
other boy
the
name?
Super Bowl coming up Sunday.
What's his name? Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you just had Rosenberg. You got
Lusenberger. Lusenberger.
But what we're gonna do right here, everybody?
But I still ain't got to do that Mr. Rogers thing unless Atlanta lose in the
Right.
Super Bowl.
If you want to go, we're gonna open up the phone lines right now, and it's gonna be a free for
Call
all
them up.
Thursday. Give
Call
us a
'em
call, free for all Thursday.
What you want to talk about? Talk to me.
Call us and tell us what you want to talk about,
Hey, Gigi, go ahead, man.
and get live on the air with us and Stop the Madness. Keep it 100. The number is 866-484 7865.
7865.
That's 866
Wait a minute.
484 7865. Give us a call. And on the phone right now, we got Gigi. Welcome calling us, Gigi. Go
Hey,
ahead.
Gigi.
Come on, Gigi. Tell us something good.
What's up?
Right. Hey, Gigi, I was thinking about putting you on the show so you can do the G-Spot live.
You know what? It's funny that you said that because I do YouTube videos called the Gale thing, talking about the G thing.
So let me ask you about the G thing. how about you call in on our show live and do the G thing like hug it low down? You know, we gonna put you on the air.
You still got the number, Gigi, right?
Chicka bow, wow.
You still got the number, Gigi, to call in?
No, actually I don't.
So Gigi, tell us, did
Give
you
her the number. Give her the number so she can call in.
the
The number
number
is
866
484
7865.
7865.
That's
Call us.
866 484 484 7865. That's okay. We'll get you the number.
484
7865.
And you can call in next time. No, not now. You ain't got to call down next time because we got you on the air live now. We got you on the air live now.
Yeah, Gigi.
So we're gonna let you do a G spot. So what is the G spot? Tell me about that.
Oh, the G thing.
So it's a G thing.
Yeah.
So is that, are you a relationship guru or are you just telling us about things or tell us about it?
Well, no, actually, I'm just talking in general. Like, today I did a live video on Facebook, asking the people, do they know their nationality?
Okay.
Because I recently just found out that, my nationality is not black. It's not.
Well, can let me, okay,
Come
but
on, girl.
let me ask you this question because your president said you wasn't black anyway today because he changed black history and he made it
Afro-American history.
Afro-American history.
Afro-American history.
But there's no such thing as that. Why should we accept that?
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
That is so redundant. Gigi, that is so redundant, ain't it? Afro-American. How you gonna be Afro and American or African and American?
So,
no such thing.
So,
It's like black. It's a color. It's a color.
It's not a national. Thank you.
That's right. And we are more American.
So Gigi, let me ask you this, Gigi. Let me ask you
We
this
are
here.
more.
Let me ask you this here, since you got your new nationality and everything, and
It's not new. It's just
oh, you just found out about it. Oh, did Sax hit you with a taser when you woke up?
I ain't black. I ain't African American. I ain't African. I'm new and improved. I'm more.
I hit her with a taser. I hit her with
Sax hit, because Sax is our law enforcement correspondent. And he has been walking around, folks, with this big black 40 cal and taser, waiting to use it on somebody.
Trying to use it on me. Coming to radio show talking about what we can use this on Facebook Live, Doug.
Hey, I remember when the raccoon disarmed them in the factory.
Oh yeah.
I don't even want to know about that. But I tell you what,
No,
you know what?
Sean
I know.
seen the video.
I
Sean
bet
seen the
you.
video.
I bet you that taser would be a good thing on the G spot. I mean the G thing.
You just gonna make me a G spot because your mind in the gutter.
Oh
Right.
my God.
But we Gigi.
Well, I bet you that taser would be a hot thing on the G thing.
We want the G spot. That's what we want.
Well, Gigi, we're gonna get you. We're gonna get you to call in and do your G thing for us, and we appreciate you calling us once again on STMK Radio 100. Stop the madness and keep it real. And I want you to also be a regular. You understand?
Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling us.
Give me the information, and I got you.
And we will get the
All
information
right,
to you.
babe.
All right.
Thank you, Gigi.
Thank you, Gigi.
Everybody, our phone lines are open. Give us a call. This is a free for all Thursday. Anything you want to talk about, anything you want to do,
Whatever.
give us a call because we're going to go back into it. Because right now, it is 6:34 p.m.
Is it?
And
I got
we
6:30.
we getting ready to make. You're right, Sex Man. It's 6:30.
I got 629.
How you get 6:20?
Hey, look,
Hey,
my time is
Hey,
accurate.
that's because he got that rubber watch.
That's right.
He got that watch that
y'all ain't even got to be.
Roger the Rabbit gave him.
Yeah.
You know, Roger the Rabbit
You
gave
use the arm to
him.
wind it up.
Yeah, right,
This
yeah.
right, and it winds up
This
on the
is
arm.
ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Oh,
you know,
there go Mike Tyson. How did Mike Tyson get in here?
Crazy. This is crazy. You know, you guys.
Who in the hell left the gate open?
I'm gonna eat your kids. I'm gonna eat your kids.
But what we're gonna do is here. Last week, I want everybody to remember. Last week, Doug. We're not gonna make him do a Mr. Rogers today because
I don't have to do it
I
today.
understand.
Sunday.
The bet was
Sunday.
If
he's going to do it
the
Sunday.
New England Patriots
England's gonna
should
beat 'em.
happen to by some
Well,
miracle win the Super Bowl.
Sacks. The
Atlanta.
family. I'm gonna say this right here. Tom Brady is the man, and if you got some money, you better put on Brady. But I think Atlanta is so hot right now.
Atlanta.
That the Dirty Birds.
Hey, baby.
I think
Hey,
they're
baby.
going to pull the championship, and the family in Atlanta
Hey, baby.
are dressed in the
Hey,
gear,
baby.
and I
You
think
know-
you're gonna do it.
You know, my girl Michelle in Boston, that beautiful woman.
Oh, she's
Michelle.
mad at me right now
Oh, what you do to Michelle?
because I just told her I got to go with the hometown. I got to go with my
Atlanta.
people in Atlanta.
Atlanta, baby.
Junior Cleveland.
now,
I got to
Michelle-
go with little
Michelle,
Cleveland.
this is
you
your
know.
boy Sax, man. Now you know I love you because you're a fine piece of. Let me tell you
Oh,
something.
shut your mouth.
Don't get
What-
mad at Sax, man.
what-
'Cause Sax, man,
Sax.
it's gonna back you up on this. Let me tell you something.
You going with Brady?
I'm gonna go with with. I can't go with Hotlanta because Hotlanta kind of got on my nerve a few times.
Wait a minute. Are you not going with Atlanta
So-
because the person is running for mayor here in Cleveland?
Hey, leave that alone. Leave that alone. I don't owe that guy nothing. I don't owe him nothing.
I'm gonna go with New England because of my boy.
Okay, let's say this.
All right.
Who is your boy?
Let's
Wait a
break
minute.
this
Who
down.
is your boy?
You know who my
Who
boy
is your
is.
boy, man?
Time
you know
to-
what?
time to
You
terrific.
know what? Let me get
Wait,
my hands on that taser.
Hey,
Let me
but-
get my hands.
But you know
on
what, Sax?
Deflate gate.
I'm gonna say this
all
right here.
over again.
I'm gonna say this
I'm
here.
listening, I'm listening, I'm
Sax,
listening.
man, let me tell you this.
Mhm.
Tom the Terrific. It's very hard for
Mhm.
me to sit here and tell Atlanta that I'm gonna go with you on this Titanic ride.
Right.
Okay.
He is such a lame. He gonna get on TV in that interview, start crying. And
He
a
gonna-
little elementary school. Who is your hero, Tom? My daddy.
Right. So,
cut it out.
but let me say this. Once we're gonna break it down right here because you know what I told everybody that we was gonna do this. We was gonna break it down, but let's break this down right here.
All right, let's break it down. Let's break
Since
it
our
down.
phones ain't ringing, let's break this down.
All right,
break
let's
it
do
down.
this. Let's do this.
Atlanta, the
Atlanta.
last two games has been playing off
Hey,
the
baby.
hook.
Hey, baby.
So you have to look at this. New England cannot leave Malcolm Butler out there by himself because he gonna get 8 alive.
Oh.
Okay. Julio Jones, that's a man. That's a man playing with kids.
Atlanta.
So you have to look at that. New England's defense might have some problems, but then on the other hand, you have to look at too. Atlanta is the highest scoring offense in the NFL this year, and they really showed it when they ate your boy Double Check. Did they call Double Check?
Lawson
No, I'm talking about Double Check first, and
double check, double check.
And Tom Terrific, the beat killer. Tom Terrific, the beat. Matter of fact, Tom ended some careers. You understand that, don't you?
Wait, now.
Rosenberg might not even come back next year
Lawsonberger.
because Tom ended his career. Matter of fact, I think they're gonna fire the coach. Tomlin might be gone.
I don't know about all that. I don't know about that.
Bell everybody might be gone.
You think so?
Tom broke some spirits.
He broke some spirit. He did a number on Roethlisberger. That's for sure.
Now,
That's for sure.
Sunday, I'm going to say this, Sunday, while you at your Super Bowl party.
Sunday.
Everybody
When
drinking
Mr. Roger
beers,
comes out and
weed.
visit.
Mr. Rogers not coming out.
You know what? Doug, and I'm going to tell everybody this.
Why you
in
gotta
the
say my
radio
name like
land.
that?
Doug Million will be wearing his flood pants, his sweater,
Ain't gonna
and
happen.
he in his best.
I'm even gonna bring the loafers.
In his
I'm gonna
best
sing
voice,
the song.
he
I'm
gonna
gonna sing
sing
the song,
Mr.
and I'm
Rogers
gonna
song.
do the whole thing.
Right.
I'm gonna
He's
do the
gonna
whole
sing that
thing.
song.
I'm gonna do the whole
So,
thing. But
what
now
we
that's
doing?
if Atlanta lose.
Right.
You understand? Look.
Right. So if Atlanta lose,
You ready?
and we got to do this right here for you. Oh, I'm
Here,
sorry. Right
that-
there.
that's me.
No, I want you to
That's
listen
me.
up, because on the phone, I
Oh,
got
boy.
my dude, Heavy D.
Heavy-
Heavy D knows
Heavy diddle-diddle-diddle-dee.
how to answer that question.
Hey, Heavy.
diddle-diddle-dee.
Now, Heavy,
Can you hear us, Heavy?
Say something.
Say something. Well, you're live on the radio.
live on the radio, Heavy
Say
D. Go
something,
ahead,
Heavy. Okay, so you're a dirty bird too. That's what I just was telling everybody, that you're a dirty bird. The dirty bird. Tell me, Heavy, right here, what you think the dirty bird's going to do to Tom Terrific?
The defense is going to be all right. I think that offense is going to get them over the hump.
Oh, the offensive. So do you?
Hey, baby.
So do you think, for this one thing, do you think that Atlanta with Ryan is going to really score heavily? Or are they going to score like they did with Green Bay every time they touch the ball? Or do you see a struggle, or whoever do the turnover?
Even though I don't like the Patriots, you got to give them credit. They're not going to score on them like they did.
You better preach.
But they're going to score enough to win the game.
Yeah, because Tom did some bee killing last week. And the Dirty Birds are flying right now, so it's going to be some air support needed.
Heavy D is my cousin. That's my cousin. I love him to death.
Heavy, are you in Cleveland, or are you in the land, or are you in
You
Atlanta?
better not say nothing bad about him. I see you get your face
okay.
fixed up right now. You better
Okay.
not say nothing bad about him. I'm going to knock you out that chair, and I'm going to tase you with your own taser. You think that raccoon did a number on you? Boy, you wait. Don't you bet.
Heavy D, you are
come
live.
on, Cletus.
Heavy D, you are live. You on you with the Ustream.
Ustream,
You on-
Facebook,
you on
YouTube,
Ustream, YouTube,
SoundCloud, so you gonna be all
Mixcloud. You all over the world right now. 17 different states.
And later on this evening, once we load it, you can go on YouTube and you can look at the video.
Right, you're gonna have to go to YouTube because Facebook.
You
kicked
told
us
him right,
already.
Heavy D. You my new favorite person. You told him right. You better not fix your gone, Cletus. Come on.
But can I ask you a question, Heavy? Since you
Cletus.
called in for Saxman, our law enforcement over there, did you see the video when the squirrel had him running around like Barney?
Oh no!
I think my cousin didn't see that video.
And the squirrel would probably say, "Hey man, come on, help a brother out. I'm just trying to get a nut. Help me out, Sax. Help me out. What's the problem?"
Hey, thank you, Heavy D. Thank you for calling us up on Stop the Madness, Keep It 100.
Atlanta.
We hope you be a regular and call back during the day and tell us what you think about when we talking politics or we talking anything, man. We want to hear from our people, and we want to do a lot for the community, and we want you to be involved while we're doing it.
Daryl, thanks, man. I appreciate you.
Hey,
I'll be
thank
calling
you.
you next week.
Facebook, Hot Atlanta.
All right, baby.
Atlanta.
Hot Atlanta,
Hey,
Facebook.
baby.
We spend a lot of time today talking to our community and doing issues right here. And right now we're talking about the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
And the chat room want to know,
Sunday,
is Lady Gaga going to have any costume malfunctions?
Yep.
No, you know why? Don't you? Because see, Janet Jackson had that baby, so we cannot put her back out there for her wardrobe malfunction.
And it's just been reported. She just came out on Twitter and Snapchat.
She lost all that weight that quick?
Beyonce pregnant or what?
Already?
With twins.
With twins.
With twins.
And-
So you know she ain't gonna be performing
but you know what the problem
for
is.
a
So they're
minute.
the Yin Yang twins.
But you know what the problem is. You know what the problem is here. All these women asking where's the good man's at. I'm gonna have to tell them.
We all up here in the studio.
Right, we all in the studio, and y'all messing around with them cute guys. Y'all better get y'all ugly guy and be like Beyonce and have twins.
You know what I'm saying?
You know something?
Mess around with these grown ass little boys.
They don't understand that the good men are right here. We just tired of you crazy
But
women.
but you know what? You know
They
what?
crazy, man. You know how crazy they
But
get.
you know what, Sax? You was in a relationship.
I was in several crazy relationships.
And you
I've
give-
been in so many
you give
bad
some advice about
relationships
that.
with crazy women that I'm an expert on
You an
relationships.
expert on relationships. You and
No,
me both.
sex men actually give advice.
I give relationship
advice.
That's what I'm
he's
telling you.
he's a guru.
Serious business.
Yes,
I am a relationships expert.
You
I'm not
relationship-
saying
you-
I'm the relationship expert.
You the guru.
But I have been in
You the guru.
so many bad relationships that I actually have gathered a form and have been helping people with their relationships because I done been through it like yourself, brother.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm not taking anything
But,
away
Doug,
from you because there's
Doug,
room for many relationship
Doug,
experts
but
out
Doug,
here.
Okay.
You're
Yes,
crying
sir.
just because you've been in bad relationships. Quit getting on the same horse,
How you
ride
think?
the same way.
How
Get
you
in
think?
shape,
No,
walk,
no,
start
no.
walking.
Because now I'm gonna tell you. Because I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm in a beautiful relationship. I'm in a wonderful relationship.
Oh, how'd you
I'm
get
with
in that?
the
Wait a
woman.
minute. Wait a minute.
tell
How did
me.
you?
I'd
Wait
like
a
to know
minute.
that
Wait a minute. How did you get into a beautiful relationship after going through 7 bad ones?
Not 7. No. You misunderstood
So
what I
so
said.
wait a minute.
I've
wait a
been
minute,
through
wait a minute.
many.
Okay, so let me ask this question. And I'm gonna say this.
I did exactly.
Sex
I did
man,
exactly
sex man.
what you just told me
Is,
to do.
Is his girl doing charity work for him? We need her to call
No,
up right
no.
now so she
I-
can tell us.
I
is she
did
doing
exactly.
charity
I
work.
did exactly.
I don't want to say charity work.
What you gonna say?
Say what you will.
But it's more.
It's
like,
a mercy type thing. It's a
that's
charity
what it is,
type
that's what
thing,
it
or
is.
whatever it
You
is.
know,
But I did exactly. I took your advice.
Oh, you took my
I
advice.
stopped
That's right.
riding that same dead ass horse.
That's what you gotta do. Now,
I
see,
stopped
I
banging
tell
my
people
head
that
against
every
that same
day.
wall. I stopped. You know what? I found a woman that's got my back.
She got your back?
She got my back. My
I tell
front,
people
my
that
side, and my middle.
every day.
I stopped. I did something different. I didn't go in the way I usually go in. I didn't look for the type of woman I usually look for. I let the woman choose me.
So let me ask you this
and
question.
call it a mercy, call it
yeah,
a charity.
it's
or
charity.
Don't call it a comeback.
I've been here for years.
You ain't got no comeback. But let me say this right here. Tell your girl,
My wife.
your wife, your side piece. We ain't talking about your side piece.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we ain't talking
Ain't
about
got
your
no side. See,
piece.
that's one of the things I
Right.
stopped doing. I stopped carrying around side
piece.
pieces.
Okay, because you know side piece make you leave home.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And
That's
see,
what got
all
sex
of-
in trouble.
And my wife. and, that's why that damn that
How you
squirrel-
gonna tell my business, man?
Look, that's why that raccoon was chasing
That
me because of
raccoon
that
was
damn
like, "Nigga, you need to get home. Get home now. Your woman looking for
Hey,
you."
hey, what that girl Veronica Rachel say? Something wrong? You been talking about your side piece, now you left home?
Now you done left home.
Yeah.
That's what I did. I put them side pieces down. And I just came all the way clean and I have a very honest and open relationship
I'm gonna have
with
to
my
tell you
wife.
this. I never had that problem because I got the whole piece of chicken. I never had a side piece. So, I don't understand what you gentlemen are talking about.
Oh, whatever.
But I can sit here and relate because our man thing, our man
Yes, sir.
thing.
Yes, sir.
And I'm used to carrying baggage. That's why I got you too. So we gonna be okay.
Well, you know something? That's okay. That's okay. I ain't mad at him.
I ain't either.
You know,
it's okay.
I ain't either.
it's
I
always good to
appreciate
have
it.
somebody else to fall back on.
There you
know,
go.
and-
I
and-
appreciate you carrying me along for
Thank
a
you.
ride.
You know what I'm
but
saying?
Please help
Sex
me
man.
out, brother. What did we just tell? Now, I'm not cracking on Tina, but what did we just tell Tina?
Right.
You gotta have a good
You
support
gotta have
crew.
a good support crew.
Carry me to the goal line, and I
Right.
carry the ball
Right,
across.
hold on. I'm about to put you on speaker.
Oh, here we go. We got another caller coming in live.
We have another caller.
Go ahead.
This is my cousin Rob. He's an
Rob.
expert on relationships.
Oh, Rob, the
Since
expert?
we having this discussion about relationships,
Rob.
He's
Come on,
an
Rob.
expert on
Put him
Help
relationships.
me out, Rob.
So
Rob.
we're gonna put my cousin Rob on there, and he gonna tell you what
Rob,
it's like.
Well, Rob, welcome
Rob,
to Stop the Madness. Keep it 100.
You on live?
And you're on live. So I'm gonna ask you the question here: are you gonna tell us about a side piece, or are you gonna tell us about the main piece?
Well, what would you like to know about?
We want to know about the side piece first. How many men have side piece, and what they got to do with the side piece besides leaving home?
You said how many men got a side piece?
Right. And what they do with the side piece, and not leave home. Okay, we ain't talking about it. I'm talking about you having your side piece and maintaining your home.
Okay. I'm really trying to understand exactly what you want to know. Do you want to know? Your question is not clear enough for me.
Okay, if you're a man and you got a side piece,
go ahead, Sex.
All right. Is it wrong for you to go to your kick it with your side piece And when you are kicking it with your side piece, according to Sean, would that cause you to lose your home? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Would you leave home? Go ahead. Yo, tell us about it, brother.
Would
You know what? It's funny to say that, but it's a.
Go ahead, Rob. Break it down. Go ahead, Rob.
There's so many women out here that don't have enough respect for themselves, and they allow themselves to be a side piece.
Right.
Come on.
So if a man keep a side piece, you can't be mad at him because he's allowing it.
Right.
Oh, the chat room blowing up
I
now.
knew we was gonna get some
The chat
calls
room
about
is
that.
blown up now.
Keep it going, cuz.
You know
Keep it
you're
going.
live
Keep it
on
going.
internet radio.
Keep it going.
So we
When
just
the
gonna,
chat room light up.
Wait a minute. We just gonna identify him as Robert. Okay. Everybody in the chat room. Who is that? Sax man.
This is my cousin.
You
so
know
don't
that
worry
sex
about
man's
it.
gonna
Don't tell him that, man. They gonna hunt you down.
Don't hunt the man down.
Go ahead.
But no, Robert, we got another question for you right here. Sunday is Super Bowl, the man's holiday of the year.
Who you going with, bro?
Who you going with, bro?
To the man's holiday of the year, what?
Sunday's the man's holiday of the year. Who you going with?
Super Bowl Sunday.
Super
Who
Bowl
you going
Sunday.
with?
Who you going with?
Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, you know what?
Nothing. Who you going with?
Rob is not a football player.
That's all right. It don't matter. Who you going with? It's real simple. Two teams, game of the year, Atlanta or New England. Who you going with?
Sax man, how you gonna come up and talk? How he gonna call into the show talking about side pieces?
Put it on the line.
And can't pick a team. Come on, pick one on, Rob.
Atlanta gonna make New England a side piece.
Come on, Rob.
Now, remember now, you are live.
You are live.
You are live.
Don't leave him hanging like that, Rob. Come on, man.
Go ahead, man.
Hey, I'm gonna go back to this side piece thing.
There we go.
You know,
Hey, baby.
Go ahead, Rob.
Hey, baby.
Hey, we gonna talk. You know what? This is a good topic. And I just want to say something about. A lot of times, women don't understand why they become why a man is cheating on them. A lot of times, women want to withhold sex, and they think that the man is okay with that. So he's like, I still love you, but I'm gonna get my sex somewhere else.
Right.
Yep.
So it's a few reasons why men tip out on that main piece.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, we got a girl named Gigi.
Yeah.
That's burning at the chops right now.
Gigi got the G
G-
spot,
G.
the hot spot, the G thing.
She called in a little while ago, Rob, because she was like, it ain't a G, it ain't a G
It
spot.
ain't a
it's
G spot, it's a
thing.
G
Yeah,
thing.
It's a G thing. then we just hung up from Daryl, from Daryl.
So Sex Man got all his people on the phone here tonight.
I said I was gonna call my family and have my family come up.
He's
in
so
here and-
prejudiced. Why you gotta pull a family card? Why you gotta pull a family card?
Hey, this is nepotism, baby. This is nepotism.
Why you gotta pull? You're not just as bad as some other people that always pulling the nepotism stuff. You gotta stop that, my brother.
But you know, Robert, we appreciate you calling in to Stop the Madness. Keep it 100. We are live.
God damn, my battery died.
Right there. So give us a call later and stay with the show. Thank you very
Go on
much.
YouTube later on this evening, man, and check the show
So
out.
back to the show now.
All right,
now.
man, be good. You're welcome.
Appreciate you, Rob.
Appreciate you, Rob. Now, you know, we had the people call in, but now back to what we was talking about here.
Oh,
It's
here we go.
Here come back to the
47
same old
minutes
bag of
past
soup.
the hour, and
Gonna
we're gonna go
beat
right
another
here.
dead horse.
We want everybody to tell us Atlanta or
New England.
But first we're gonna go take a little break, and we're gonna be right back before we go off there.
We're here asking people from all over what they think of Lipton green tea. Let's hear what people from Texas have to say. How about China? Germany? How about people from the North Pole? Or Mars? What about mimes? Oh, right. People with their jaws wired shut? Oh. Yeah, a barbershop quartet. Oh, you guys are great. How about race car drivers? What about you, high school glee club, here on a field trip? Well, that settles it. It sounds like everyone loves the taste of Lipton green tea. With its protective antioxidants from real tea, it's not just good for you, it's to you.
Man, I dig inner monologues. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, look, a fillet of fish just sitting here in my mind being all delicious. Hey!
That's my sandwich.
What? How did you get in my inner monologue?
Door was open. Give it back.
Man, get your own invisible sandwich.
Any day is a great day for a Filet-O-Fish sandwich. And right now at McDonald's, you can get 2 Filet-O-Fish sandwiches for only $3.33. For limited time only, prices of participation may vary.
You've been tuned in to Stop the Madness, keeping it 100 on STMK Radio 100. And now back to your host one more time, Sean L., Let, and Tone the Stone.
Welcome back to Studio 51, and we sitting here with Sax Man and Doug Million, the man holding up the world.
Stop saying my name.
Yeah, you know, son, we got people.
Jesus.
I'm hiding from my ex-wife.
See,
Did I tell you that last time I
Bro,
was there?
bro, Brewer gonna be calling. You know
but-
I owe him $2.
But you know what? I want to talk about this, because I was just reading that when we was off by the break, and I was just looking at this and reading everything.
What happened?
Brewer wants to be the mayor of the city of Cleveland.
Why? Why?
And I haven't seen this yet, but I just want to say
He
this.
blew his his chances when he was the mayor of East Cleveland.
But
Oh, my
the biggest thing is we got 8 people running for mayor.
Yeah. 8.
8.
Ooh.
And I do see Frank Jackson having a problem this year
Yes.
on
Yes.
police reform
Yep.
alone.
Mhm.
That's going to be an anchor around his neck.
But you know what? I see Frank Jackson have a problem because did you see that motley crew that was standing behind him?
Oh, my
I mean,
God.
he had Pookie Boo Boo,
yeah.
Aunt Bertha standing down front, didn't even have her teeth in and was scared.
Those were the people that was
that
at
wanted him
last
to
year's. That was at last
the
year's
same
primary
people.
reunion.
Yeah.
that they forgot that didn't go back and pick up.
Talk
They're still
about,
there.
talk about, talk
Right.
about. These are the
These
people
that I'm gonna support and they got
that was
my
supporting
back.
me. That I'm gonna
you look at
support.
this-
They got my back.
Right, but you have to
Ain't
look at
Bertha ain't
this.
even got her teeth. How she gonna have somebody back?
And they was looking like they was confused, like they didn't know what he was talking about.
But see, you have to
And
understand
did you
one
see the
thing.
guy
They
standing
vote.
right behind him on the
But
left?
Yeah.
Oh my
they,
lord.
They vote. You have to understand that is a voting block. They
Yeah,
will go to
that's
the
true.
polls.
They were going to
That's
vote.
true.
But
However,
he already had 12 years to show us that he can be the best mayor that the Cleveland had, and we should give him another 4 years. I don't think we should, because he made a statement, I'm going to go back.
I don't want to go back.
I'm going to go back to putting my attention
I don't wanna
to
go
the
back.
neighborhoods, the policing, the economic. When did you ever
do it? Exactly.
You had 12 years to prove to me that my neighborhood looks beautiful. You know how many boarded up houses in the neighborhood? You know how many boarded up stores? How many
Well-
black businesses is
know what?
owned in the community? Now,
The
what
city
did
of
you do?
Cleveland, the city of Cleveland
Oh.
is starting to look like. You remember what
Well-
downtown Cleveland looked like in the 70s?
Oh, I remember how downtown
when
Cleveland
Prospect
looked
when
like, man.
Prospect
Was
was
beautiful.
completely showed down.
Yep.
Only thing down there was the Mad Hatter
The Mad
Hat
Hatter.
Company, Sam's,
Yep.
and what
Well,
was the
wait a
name
minute,
of
the
that
Mad
bar?
Hatter Hat Company.
Yeah,
Woodward?
not the Mad Hatter,
Wait,
not
wait,
the club.
wait,
I'm
wait,
we,
Not the club.
we
Not
talk
the
no,
club.
we're not talking about
Not
the club.
Mad Hatter Club.
We
that was
talking
on
about
18th. It
we
was on
talking about
18th.
right there. We talking about
Well,
talking about the hat company
yeah.
that was right there on Prospect.
I know.
I'm talking about back
Well,
when downtown
you gonna have to
Cleveland was
hold
boarded
that
up.
was
You
on
gonna have to
12
hold
going
that
down.
thought.
You got
and
to hold
Sax
that thought.
Man, you gonna have to hold that thought.
Okay, excuse
and
me.
guess what? We're going to need y'all to. We're going to talk about that on another show.
Oh, my God.
Because right now,
shucky ducky.
I got
we
some
like
talk
to
about
thank
that.
everybody for tuning in with us tonight. We want to thank Facebook, Twitter,
Facebook, Twitter.
Instagram, SoundCloud, and Mixcloud. We'd like to thank the people that called in. We also
Thank you.
like to have the community
Thank you.
reach
Thanks,
out to Tina and help them, and we thank them for coming on, telling
Yes,
us their
yes, yes.
business.
Daryl, thank you, Daryl Heavy D.
And,
my
you
cousin
know,
Rob.
it is that time.
Oh, and Gigi. Remember Gigi?
Ain't time to go home.
Gigi. Come on back, Gigi.
But you know the rest.
Gigi. Do that G thing, baby.
I want to thank all y'all for listening in. Remember, live, love, laugh. Seen you. Bye, chat room. Appreciate you. SoundCloud, Mixcloud.
This is it. Your host, Sean L. We'd like to thank you for tuning in with us tonight. We hope to see you next week when we start all over again in Studio 51. Give us a call. And as we always say in the old days, love, peace, and happiness. See ya.
You've been listening to Stop the Madness, Keep It 100 on STMK Radio